Welcome back, everyone, to the Beyond the Summit Pro Series Season 3 America's Edition. We are on game number 3. We are tied up 1-1, and I think all of us need to take a moment and just take a deep breath and relax, because that last game was flippin' insane, okay? We had a base race, we had zoos running everywhere, we had one hell of a chrono where Bryle apparently walks into it, and they should have won the game, and then they didn't. And then they had to GG out. Like, what? Kips. I'm speechless.
Let me go full white girl here. I don't even. I don't even. Of course, like the sheer mental strength that it takes, and I'm gonna waffle on and on about this, for Crazy to just say, all right, this is our window. We take it now. If one step back and it's death, boys. You could see that mentality right there. This was life or death for them, and it feels almost cruel to see the victory snatched out of their hands by just a very unfortunate interaction there. And I
don't know why why?
Because it's the reverse alliance, you know? Instead of throwing yourself at a protected throne, you protect the enemy's throne with the bubble and fail.
Oh my gosh, you gotta wonder how the tempers are running right now on the side of Crazy. And again, of course, it's great the fact that, you know, they had that victory. That was their victory, except for that one unfortunate thing. But I also know that HFN is an extreme tilter. Or maybe not tilt. I guess he takes, if you ever, so all right, let's throw back a little bit. Let's go back to the days of Pain Gaming.
All right,
when you were playing with, you know, King RD, Tavo, all of them. Every time that they had a loss, you'd see the other guys would get up. They'd be like, oh man, you know, they'd be a little bummed. But you'd see HFN just sit there and stare at his screen, pull his hood up, hands are on his head, and like, he'd be in a funk. He'd be very upset. So my question now is Crazy gonna be enough where they're just like, you know, it's fine, we've got this, we had them on the ropes the whole time, or is HFN gonna slide a little bit, I guess, is the thing that I'm a little concerned about.
5 seconds remaining.
He has been playing so tight this series, and a lot of why they got the win in the first game, as well as got as far as they did in that second one, has been his performances. And yeah, if he starts slipping here, they can't afford that.
No.
Not at all. And that's maybe the frustrating part, that if he's likely to do that, then no matter what Bryle actually feels about, you know, running into the corner, whether he blames himself or whether he thinks that HFN really shouldn't have done that, all your effort needs to go into spending those 5 minutes you have in between games getting that guy ready to play again. Because past games already in the past. The only thing that matters is the next game. And the ability to reset right now, if Crazy has that, it's one of the hallmarks of the best teams. If they can do that too, on top of playing this focused, this tight for so long, even when faced with some pretty insurmountable odds, let's face it, Quincy Crew was on the brink of taking that game, then we have one hell of a final on our hands.
Oh my god, these games have been so exciting. Like,
I know,
again, everything happened. The only thing we're missing is rapiers at this point, and I'm sure those are going to pop up eventually. But yeah, you know, this is the chance they can reset. You are seeing the Terrorblade get picked up again for Yawar. You've got the Ogre Magi that's going to be able to buff them up with the Bloodlust, because let's face it, this is a patch where if you can empower your cores, they are going to become so much stronger, and they're going to be just so much more terrifying. But on the flip side of things, they do manage to secure the Beastmaster for Keizu, which is one of his, you know, best heroes. You've got the Marana again this time, probably again for Moon Meander. So there's a lot of pieces moving that are similar, but just slightly different going on. And I guess that's kind of a really dumb thing to say, actually, now that I think about it. But I'm still riding the high from the last team fight here.
I don't think it's a dumb thing to say at all. I think, especially the way that Crazy structures their drafts, you've said something recently with the way that they structure it, the fact that they usually have 2 tanky heroes that can, one that can stay, one that can go in. They usually have a mobile core that can go in, as well as a save behind it from Aoi. I would not be surprised at all to see Aoi pick up whatever he deems to be the best saving hero on that pick after the banning phase is over. It's, you watch this for long enough, you see the structures.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be Elder Titan, because he immediately gets banned out. SVG's just way too good with that hero, and they do like to pick it on Crazy too, but they weren't probably going to be able to grab it. The Earth Spirit too. A lot of like these 4 positions are getting banned, like 4 and 5
Mhm.
sort of things, especially, the way that Moon Meander does play that Earth Spirit. He is a force to be reckoned with, but they pick up the Mirana for him, so he'll be making moves with that. Interested to see what the MSS here. I'm interested too to see if they pick up Quinn's hero fairly early, because they did ban out the Void Spirit, right? That's one of his better heroes that he plays. He does very well on it, but they also banned out the Ember. So I'm not sure if they still have something that he's going to be super, super comfortable on that they feel like they should pick up now, or if they should grab it later. But we will have to see.
Unless Crazy gives them a reason to really value either the Lina or the Kunkka, which I think are two leftover big Quinn heroes, I think they'll take it easy, maybe even wait all the way until that last pick that they've got secured for themselves. They're not in a hurry, especially taking their time here on this ban. This is where they previously did take out the Lina, just to save their Terrorblade from that Laguna Blade.
What about Zeus?
It's the bad rider. Zeus is such a tricky proposition, though. You have to be ready to use the entire rest of your lineup to work around the fact that you have this super fragile damage dealer in the middle of it. And of course, Terrorblade hates it, but the offlane hero is already picked, so he's not necessarily going to suffer from it in the laning stage, which is one of the big selling points of the Zeus. So it would have to be later, and then, yeah, you have to build your lineup for it. So I'm not sure. Crazy could still hit us with that one, especially if they feel they don't have a proper carry matchup versus it, but they could go with the Faceless Void again if they wanted to. Centaur, though. So Aghanims on Centaur is definitely a threat to the viability of grabbing a Faceless Void.
But at the same time, you're not going to be able to disengage if you're Chronosphered, right? Which is one of the other big...
No, but it's all about the damage reduction.
True, but it's going to be a while before the Centaur really can get that, because he's going to need to build utility for the most part. Be a couple items in. Lullis is absolute beast on this hero, though, too. During the ESL Thailand, we saw him just land, like, just perfect stomps, like blink stomps, stun duration. Like, it was just excellent every single time, grabbing multiple heroes. So it's going to be very important that Crazy stays very spread out and doesn't allow him to get those opportunities to get the jump. But they do have a lot of vision, right? Coming out from the side of Crazy. You've got, the Beastmaster Hawk. You can position the boars. You've got arrows coming out from Mirana. So you have a lot of solutions to be able to do some scouting. And even more now when you pick up a Treant Protector.
Yep. There's your defensive support for Aoi.
There it
your
is.
Saber.
Lockdown's a little light, though, coming out from Crazy. That's the only thing that I'm not loving about this draft right now.
At the very least, there's some arrows set up here. There's a lot of information, as well as a way to prevent the disengage from the Centaur. And this does make me feel like they're not going to run with the Faceless Void again. Which is, I think they could. I think they should feel confident to do it, but the question that we can't answer sitting right here is what is HFN's state of mind like right now? And if he feels he can't do it, then he can't do it, because confidence is key here.
Yeah, especially in a grand final, so have to see. The Wind Ranger getting picked up, though, for Quincy crew. They don't want to see Brile picking that up after he proved to be quite a threat, despite, a couple of those run-ins where he was feeling unbeatable. He had his BKB going and then immediately got murdered. But definitely, a good hero that deals a lot of damage and is able to push, so.
It's mixed damage, and this is a possibility. I imagine it's going to go towards 4 position, but they could still put it in the mid lane as well.
I was wondering if they were going to go Drow. I saw these tanky, like, you've got to heal, you've got a way to hold them in place with the overgrowth and the roar.
Yep. And then the Wind Ranger pick comes in, and you already see, like, alright, she can die to the frost arrows still. So
do they get something like a... I don't think you want any more melee, though, at this point. I would say like something like a Clockwork for Quincy crew to try to close the gap, but then you're just running way too much... Unless the Wind Ranger is being run as a 4, which is also possible. I know MSS plays that. So then you still have the options. You don't want...
10 seconds.
Yeah, it's already banned. There's no storms. Try to go... You don't want a puck either, though.
5 seconds remaining.
Puck into this?
No, I don't think you want that.
Very rough against the Treant.
I don't know what you use to get into the back lines because, you know, the Void Spirit's been banned out, the Ember Spirit's banned out, Kunkka with the Axe banned out, Storm is just kind of garbage right now anyways, honestly.
Quap?
Could go Quap. Could go Quinn Quap.
It doesn't
Quinn Quap.
feel fun, once again, against the roots from the Treant
No.
Protector. This is such a nasty hero to need to think about your mid hero into, especially because the Void Spirit has been swiped out from under their noses.
Dire team ban.
Crazy say no, DK.
Yeah,
So they're still scared of running out of damage. I do agree with that as well. Right now it looks like they're going to be running just a single core for that Drow Ranger, and she's going to get buffed up by everybody, but that doesn't mean that you can't run out of damage if you just have 3 beefy heroes running at you.
5 seconds remaining.
They need something to jump on this Drow for Quincy.
Yes.
They also
DK
need
would
to
have been
figure out
ideal,
what's, you know, what else can they put out for, like you said, for the damage aspect of things. They ban out the Puck. Puck's pretty decent because you can't stampede away, obviously, if you're coiled.
Yes. Holding
They could
people
go
in
for the
place
Lena,
the Drow
honestly. Alina's not horrible here for the side of Crazy. You know, it
At
gives
least
you that
very
burst
fragile,
damage. She is fragile. It is kind of a fragile lineup. But what else do you pick here that can also do damage, I guess, is my question.
I'd much rather see something like a Pango.
Okay.
So with the disarm utility, no, there is the Quap.
All right. Ooh, Brow Queen of Pain, too. I do like that.
That is a treat. And this also brings some much needed magic damage into this draft, which they didn't really have before. But yeah, I hope Braille is ready to suffer for the sake of his carry once more, because if they take the wrong kinds of engagement, he is going to die for it. No doubts about it. This Wind Ranger, especially the Shackle Shot, presents a huge threat.
It's also going to be very important that he doesn't fall off. This is one of those very snowbally heroes that needs to be able to continue to accelerate. If you have too many deaths, you're in trouble. So, okay, yeah, you know, I like this too. We've got the Quinn Lena. So it's going to be a battle of the glass cannons in the mid lane.
Yes, absolutely.
Playing the Wind Ranger.
Wow.
What a lineup here. Which one do you like better? Because I like the fact that they do have a way to buff up the Terror Blade, because I think that's very, very important. But I also feel like they just don't have great ways of getting into the back to deal with HFN.
They don't, but at the same time, Crazy is going to have to spend some of their forces to take out this Lena. Otherwise, you have the same problem the other way around, where Quincy Crew also has a highly damage-dealing backline, and I actually enjoy that Lena pick much more because of that than I otherwise would, because this forces Crazy to split their attention. They have things that need to be dealt with now. So even though this feels like a Lena pick that could die in seconds, it also means that it grabs attention, and it could very well move the troops that should be in front of HFN away from him so that the trade can be made. And that's where your war ultimately wins the battle.
I think the big question to me, too, is obviously, you know, usually Lena's going to win the lane, right? She's got more of a range. She's got the ability to throw out the LSA. But I feel like Bryle has been playing so aggressively that it's going to end up being one of those situations where, okay, he loses the lane, but then he makes up for it by just constantly running after people, going along with like Moon Meander or Keizu and just getting these pickoffs and accelerating that way.
Yep, and I think the Quap is not as, how do you say this? You don't need to snowball on her as hard as you did before, just because your item time has got a little bit easier with the price decrease on the Orchid a while ago, for example. I think that still counts. And the Orchid is going to put him back into the game if he has a hard one as soon as he gets it.
I would definitely agree with that, because again, it's the battle of the glass cannons. So if you get that silence off, Bryle can definitely blow up that Lena. And Lena's not usually the type of hero that will go for anything like that, too. She's probably going to be going for the Yules for setup. So, I mean, in some ways, it's an elegant solution in terms of the fact that you want to build a Yules anyways, to try to, you know, give yourself some more mana, movement speed, and set up for LSA. But it's still very scary for the side of Quincy Crew, not just for the Lena, but for these other heroes once that orchid comes online. So
The only one who doesn't automatically die to a orchid is the centaur. Actually, MSS not happy with all that magic burst damage.
no, definitely not.
Look at them
30
waiting.
seconds to battle.
Just a
For the
happy
poor
wind
soul to walk
ginger
up
here.
here.
Oh, they immediately spot out that ward. I'll be happy to take that down. Get a little bit of gold online.
Waiting. Frost arrows in hand.
MSS is like, I feel very targeted right now, and I feel like I might be
You
dead.
should.
He should, yeah. Owie coming forward with the Nature's Grapple Separate. Don't manage to go and land the arrow, though, unfortunately. So they'll turn their attention over to SVG. A little bit of a split. Owie grabbing up the rune. Takes a little bit of damage from MSS, but the Frost Arrow's over on SVG. Slowing him down a bit, but again, these are some big, tanky, beefy boys over here, so we'll just take a little harass, and that's that.
That's that. Let's see if Lelis can output enough pressure in this lane to give HFN trouble. So far, this doesn't start like it.
I mean, he's level 1. It's pretty difficult, right? He's got so much
He's-
slow coming out from Owie and HFN together.
He's very clearly looking for the retaliate stacks so that he'll get at least some last hits in, but the range problem is very real. And the only kills that they can get in this lane are on Owie, really, who doesn't care. All he needs to do is secure his draw.
Keizu? Oh, Keizu's having a little alone time in the jungle here. Man, Owie just punches so hard. Forces the wind run out of MSS. Very fast. An easy D ward.
Waits a while with it too.
Should be a pretty quiet start coming out for both of these teams. They just want to go and farm up, and Moon Meander doing the best he can to be very annoying, as a Moon Meander does. Go steal himself the range creep. Easy peasy.
Done.
Yep. Takes a little bit of damage, but he does have the boots online already, so he's perfectly okay with this. He's got what he needs.
And Kazu got himself a nice creep wave behind his own tier 1 as well. Something should be done about these creep pooling shenanigans still. Either, you know, just put it back in Ice Frog, because clearly they're gonna outsmart you every time, or make it impossible to do at all. None of this, you get to trade a couple of power hits for it shenanigans.
I don't know, I feel like it's such a cool thing in Dota to be able to do it.
It is, and depending on who you ask, that's either great for the diversity of heroes played, or it removes the ability for actual offlaners to compete, as in offlane heroes to compete with heroes that can be played in the offlane if you can pull creeps. There's a big discussion to be had about that.
An interesting one, to be sure. Ryle taking a lot of harass here from Quinn, as expected. Quinn sitting at 15-3, 9-1 on Bryle. And again, this is not a great lane here for the Queen of Pain. There's just too much range on Quinn. He also has that point in the Light Strike Array, so anytime that Bryle gets a little too close to the creep wave, he immediately gets punished for it, and usually is going to get stunned up.
Yes, and the range on Dagger is not very high, so anytime Bryle wants to throw that in towards Quinn, he's going to get punished for it with at least as much damage as Quinn would take from the Dagger. But it is going to get better as time goes on.
KZ just doing his best to try and go and pull around here. Do you think it's funny that Owie and MSS have just have their own little, like, support feud going on here the entire time and are just kind of letting Lelis and HFN deal with one another? So, what's going on here with this Mirana? Doesn't have the arrow right now, so looks like she's not going to be making any plays over in the mid lane. Living armor coming in hot, though, for Bryle. Keep him alive, has that bottle online, too.
He's going to be better at the rune control because of the blink, so this is the point where, at the very least, he can stop ferrying himself that much regen. That was close.
That's very close. Bryle still has that bottle, though. 4-minute runes coming up. They're pinging out that Wind Ranger is missing, so might try to make a play on Bryle if that rune spawns in the bottom. And you can see the Ogre also making his own rotation. Moon trying to ensure that they'll be able to protect the top, but it is in fact bottom, so Lena will be able to
Unfortunate for
grab
Brawl.
himself that up. MSS making his way over, but again, they have the vision. They know he was on the way. They pinged it out, so Braille just blinks off very defensively and is absolutely fine. Oh,
Fine,
nice
but
D-ward
not
here.
happy. That's going to do a lot for Brawl. As well as this occasional bit of armor getting thrown in, which really helps him out in, well, cases like this where Quincy's just wailing on him.
Yeah, if he has a 6, he's totally dead here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Not quite just yet, though. Looks like
Most of
Moonmeander's
these
going to
supports
happily
just
take
hang
some
around.
of this experience. Nope, he's going to back off. He wants to get the 5-minute runes.
The trait for both of these fours being in mid, by the way, is that both of the carries get to farm to their heart's content as well.
That's true. The scuffle down here in the bottom lane as Aoi was going for the rune and does manage to succeed in it. It's been a long time. It's like 5 minutes. We still haven't had the first blood yet.
We have not, and it has been close a couple of times.
Yeah. We're
So-
playing so carefully now.
Possibilities on either a Quinn or a Brawl rotation, as well as if HFN oversteps in the bottom lane. A good shackle with a follow-up stun can kill him.
Moon murders SVG's courier yet again. He just has this. He must have like killed his mother or something. The way that he runs after him all the time. But again, just very measured, very quiet. Bottom lane though looks like Aoi might be the first blood, although he's able to juke around and he does have himself a healing salve. They might have dove a little bit too far here though, as HFN follows up with that multi-shot. And Aoi's just absolutely fine. He's able to walk away.
Very nicely done. Wastes a lot of time as well, although HFN is now under the tower.
Yeah, he
Are
doesn't
they going to
particularly
put
love
the
that, but he
Wraith
does
on
have
him?
a couple of the Wraith bands at least to help out.
Action over on mid. SVG is waiting.
They have the
Level
Sonic
6 on both
Wave
of these
and they've got the
midlaners.
Laguna Blade here.
SVG is fine. Oh, he is so low level compared to Moonmeander.
Just gonna push the creep wave back. Lena's headed towards the bottom, it seems, or maybe just trying to go and take some of these stacks, hoping maybe he finds something else. But
Are we?
just owie things, man. God, with that immortal, or the what is that? Yeah, that's an immortal, right?
Yeah.
The little Kodama. It just sounds so funny when he's running around. Sounds like he's shaking little maracas like a tree in the Korok forest there. Top lane, though, looks like they are trying to get in a position. As you can see, the tree makes his own rotation up.
I trust to be able to protect HFN with some TPs and hopefully also with a living armor, although right now they go towards Kenzo. They
Ooh.
want...
The courier.
Unfortunate, but that was on the way out, I believe.
Yes, he's already got
No
his
items
scratch
lost
picked up
there.
now. It's a whole lot of nothing. Like, I don't want to say a whole lot of nothing, but it's just not the aggression that I'm used to seeing. All right, Moon Meander poking again. They still don't know that Aui's here, although they probably have some suspicions, right?
But we've seen aggression
Up
for
with
a
an Aegis
reason,
grabs,
and
they've
here it
got
is.
the roar, arrow, a dead SVG. So there's our first blood at almost 8 minutes in. UR's like, thank God it's not me. See you later, SVG. Thank you for your service.
He has 3 levels in Conjure Image. It is time to hit up his friends in the jungle. And by hit up, I do mean hit.
Literally. Ryle's very happy. He's found himself the regen rune. But both of these mids have been very static. You haven't seen them really make any rotations, which is a little surprising. The TP
Yeah, but,
coming
I mean,
out.
In case of Delina, it's a bit easier to explain. Just because you farm up that side camp, then pressure the tower if Bryl's not here. If Bryl is here, though, you pressure him instead.
Ryle, not realizing that there's more people here, does manage to go blink behind the tower. You can see MSS and SVG getting to position.
Shackle.
Shackle comes through. Laguna Blade, and that's a dead Queen of Pain. TP does come out from HFN. It's a little late, though, but they might be able to turn this back around, get the kill over onto Quinn as they manage to stun him up. Moon Meander looking for this opening here. Doesn't quite have enough follow-up, though, to take down Quinn. HFN, he still really would like to get this. Has a Frost Arrow, but MSS and
It's
SVG
dangerous.
still standing nearby. There's going to be a stun being thrown out there. The LSA, too, trying to get those stacks up, followed up with some of that beautiful Star Torp. And this is not looking good for HFN. He's going to just try to put out as much damage as possible, but the living armor isn't strong enough to deal with that many heroes, that much damage.
And he
Ryle,
did
though,
not need
he's
to be
back,
there.
is more than happy to try to get himself a kill on SVG. Goes, throws out that Bloodlust on the tower, at the very least. Knows he's going down, so might as well get his spells off. And you can see KZU trying to wrap around here, hoping they can find something. The arrow gets tossed out, still scouting, but the rest of the side of Quincy crew has backed off.
And altogether, that move looks really good. They maybe overdid it a bit with the vision on a mid lane. Look at these 3 wards. The investment in that tower is surreal.
This tower
so they're gonna
belongs
get
to
it.
them, Kips. There'll be no
It does
sneaking
now.
up on them. Oh, Bryle going for the jump here over onto Quinn with that slow. Have to try to go use the LSA. Lands on 2. They've got the center. They've got the
just
Zoo.
presses
They're going
R.
for a really hard dive here with the Sonic Wave. One more punch. It's Owie 2000 who gets himself the kill. SVG rotating over, does manage to take down the Centaur. Whose Mango Tree was that? Oh, it is Queen of Pains. All right. I wasn't
It
sure
is
if the
Browse,
power
yes.
shot. It always feels bad when someone else can take your neutral items.
Oh yes, but they don't drop when you're that far away from the camp anymore.
Oh, that's true. All right. Jeffen heading off
Use
to the
that as
triangle.
focus.
And how is our friend Yuar doing? Still pretty okay here. Sitting at the top
Top of the
network.
net worth charts. Yeah, unhampered by say a random death because you felt the need to over position. I do think that there you could see that HFN is not quite recovered from that previous game yet. That's not a move you make on a Drow Ranger normally.
No.
I can agree with the teleport to mid as being the unexpected smart move, but hanging around in that corner is...
Let them bait SVG. They have the vision. They forward from Moon Meander, turned around with an arrow. In comes HFN. He's going to be able to go collect himself a kill. KZU pinging out. They might like to try to grab that Lina. It's like she's already vacated the premises. Might be able to find MSS though too. They do have the roar, but no blink on KZU, so they'll be satisfied with just a little bit of an invasion here.
And it's really choking off the ability from Quincy crew to farm right now. This Lina, look at that, she's running around in her own base on full health and mana. Doesn't quite know where to go right now. Nothing in the top side is safe, but you want to kind of leave the triangle for your war. So that leaves you, well, mid lane.
I mean, that is one of the problems, is that Lina doesn't have any forms of escape naturally built into her, so it's hard when you're on the ropes here. Try to go for the shackle over onto Moon Meander. He's just gonna leap away.
Not this time. So Lelis is getting close to his Blink Dagger though, and that's the point where Quincy crew are going to take the fight to Crazy once again, but up until that point they just have to dodge. There's no fighting Brawl.
Another smoke being playing here out from the side of Crazy, hoping maybe to find the Lina. So they do have some suspicions that someone's got to be in that triangle if Yuar's not there. But they've already backed off. They can smell it. Something doesn't seem right. In fact, they use a scan on the side, but don't manage to find anyone.
Brawl shows. So at the very least, this gives Quincy crew a little bit of space to get their own defensive wards down in the jungle. They know that aggressive wards aren't going to do very much for them right now. They're going to have to take the defensive fight first with that Blink Dagger that's flying in right now.
Under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
I'd be surprised to see a smoke coming out very, very shortly. The
Oh, they're
Lina's
totally
showing in
gonna
the mid
smoke with
lane.
this. There it is. Yep, everything's normal. Nothing to see here. Our Centaur is just farming the top jungle,
Yeah,
where
nope,
he's always been.
always. I do like the way they're positioned though. Look at Moon Meander. There's out the arrow. Lena TPing out, though. There's the blink forward, though, showing it
got
off.
him.
They get the jump immediately over onto here. They'll follow up. They'll get the kill onto Bryle. The roar comes out just a little bit too late, but they do have the Moonlight Shadow. And all they have right now are sentries, so it looks like they're not going to be able to grab anyone else. Really needing that dust.
And this Metamorphosis from UR is not going to get used into a tower either, so that feels a bit empty too. But at the very least, they get that kill over on Bryle and dislodge these.
Okay, Zoo, he stayed around a little bit too long.
Wow!
I guess he wanted to cheekily grab a wave or two when they were away, but no such luck for him.
Bit of a fight breaking out though. The Yules is completed on Quinn. Bryle still working on getting that Orchid online, and still a bit away from it too, so not having the impact I think he'd like to have just yet, but
no, but that's okay. As I said before, once he's got the Orchid, he can fight. The problem is just not getting blown up in return, and that's really all about the vision, and Crazy has a ton of that. They should be able to pick their fights with, well, pretty much any criteria they'd like.
this is nice though for UR. He has finished up that Manta style, so the Orchid not going to be a problem for him as long as he holds it, or when he gets silenced up.
Mm-hmm. It's a very necessary purchase this game, because of the Drow as well. There's no way he survives without it.
A little bit of an invasion coming out from Quinn and MSS. They're moving together, but the Boars and the Hawk will scout them. And look at the movement coming down. Trying to get the jump. Keizu again has Roar, but doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so they're just a little bit too speedy for him. It's on its way. He's getting closer to it, but these two ladies should be able to walk away from this engagement.
It's not like Quinn and MSS did a lot there, though. They even left some of the camps to be farmed, so once again, they're just buying time for UR.
You're gonna have so much Blink initiation too, with Aoi grabbing the Blink Dagger, Keizu's working on it. Again, they are the big tanky boys. They'll be throwing their bodies up front so they can dish out the damage here with.
Ooh, smoke back into bot.
They use a scan too, they know Keizu's there.
Yeah. That's a delay on the blink.
That is indeed. They open up with the Yules, followed up with the LSA. They manage to go and they get off the Moonlight Shadow, but they have dust this time. Keizu's dead. They'll even go and use the Overgrowth. I am not quite sure about that, Aoi, but Bryle coming in manages to land 3 over here onto the Sonic Wave. They need a little bit more damage, and they'll be able to go. They take down Quinn. MSS, though, looking for the Shackle.
Nice
will be
arrow.
able to go on land, but the arrows coming out here from HFN, just throwing them out left and right. They clean up on this little gang squad, and they're still looking for more.
I think that Quincy crew was surprised about that Overgrowth too, and didn't consider the possibility that the backup could be coming in this fast and hitting this hard, but here they are, and the Orchid is only about 200 gold away.
Oh, the jump forward from Lelis, but still hasn't been able to go and take down Bryle. They've got a decent amount of damage. Lelis goes for the double edge, but no, he's not going to be able to do it. He's going to get taken out, as you are now trying to just man fight when pop that Metamorphosis, but the rest of the side of Crazy, they're so mobile, and they just didn't have the lockdown available this time, so Living Armor will get Bryle back up to health very quickly. Moon Meander, of course, has that mech. Do they go back in? The arrow landing over onto SVG. They're considering it. They're bringing the Centaur over, looking for the stop. And they'll be able to go get it tied up over to the tree with the Shackle. LSA will take it down.
I'd really like to hit the mid tower with his Metamorphosis, but I'm not sure they can do that because the Drow is around. UR has to bail every time the Drow shows up. You can't fight her.
Another smoke comes out from the side of Crazy. And the Orchid is
like the pace
completed
of the
for the
first
Queen
game.
of Pain, too. SS throwing out a power shot. They're hunting for UR. But he's already realizing which way the wind blows. He's realizing nobody's showing. I'll back off,
SS
Casey.
would.
Alright, this is a Roche for them. They have the Overgrowth.
Master.
They gotta get over there really fast. And they do. Oh, they have the vision. They know they're in the pit.
There's the scout.
This is a little bit suspect. You can see some of them moving out, getting into a defensive position. They need to make sure that Lelis can't get the jump in. See Moon Meander again, another power shot, giving them some vision. They've got that one creep here, trying to just cancel out any sort of blinks that might be coming in. And they do manage to secure themselves the Aegis. So HFN We'll have the first Aegis of the game at 18 minutes.
He looks sharp again. He's going to have his Manta style pretty much right now as well, which is going to make him a lot tankier, as well as possibly enable him to dodge hoof stomps.
Couple of those neutral items, tier 2s dropping right now, as they'll comb through the jungle, grab themselves their items, and then it looks like probably make some plays here for this top tier 2.
Once again, Quincy crew look like they're perhaps answering the pressure a little bit too much. They're very bunched up right now. Luckily, they do have some aggressive vision in the Radiant jungle, left over from their previous foray here, so they have more space.
Fen?
But
It's getting very ballsy here. They use the Moonlight Shadow, they jump right in. But again, these frost arrows followed up with Growl, they just blow up Lelis. He is down for the count. And they're hunting, hoping maybe they can find themselves a Quinn, maybe find themselves an SVG, anyone here. KZ's starting to get ready. He does have the roar available, but isn't choosing to use it, as they do just manage to go grab themselves SVG, and they're jumping back. MSS, no, the arrow's just a little bit too late. Quinn hiding in the tree line here, does have himself a Shadow Blade. They don't have the vision on him, and it looks like they'll be able to go get Yawar out just in the nick of time, but they don't have a creep wave here for this bottom tower. So they will be forced back. They'll have to go pick up some bounty runes, and maybe find another objective.
it's very unfortunate that the centaur jumps in there. There's no scenario where he does that and he lives. I guess he feels that he needs to save Quinn, but it just also disables them from fighting afterwards, just because they have no more vision on this Drow Ranger, no way to connect any spells on her, and all Quincy crew can do is run away.
And power shot. Seems to be the only way that they're able to push out some of these waves. Although Quinn, though, with that Shadow Blade, I don't believe they've noticed it yet, because I haven't seen any sentries get dropped here. With this positioning, they've already gone. They pop them onto LSA. Is going to be coming out here. They should be able to blow up. But KZ follows up with a beautiful roar despite everything. Lelis going in for
Double
that
stomp.
double stomp, and they're going to try to run away, but they can't because they're just held into place. The Sonic Wave comes out. Lelis will fall. Ryle's gonna get thrown up into the air, and look, they just can't do anything. They're forced back again. You don't have your Centaur. Your SVG already killed. You have an Aegis still on HFN. God, that roar was perfect.
Absolutely beautiful. I feel like Quinn should drop the Laguna Blade regardless of if the Drow has an Aegis or not, because you're holding it now, but the problem is that the Drow still gets to play this aggressive and this far up just because she's holding that Aegis. At the very least, you could maybe lighten the load by getting the Aegis out of the way at that point. It's a tough call to make, though.
I feel like it's so hard for Quinn to get a lot of things done this game because,
Oh, yes.
you know, a lot of it has to do with just the sheer mobility coming out from the side of Crazy, right? You've got the Mirana who's got the leaps, you've got the built-in blink on your Queen of Pain, you've got blinks picked up over on Beastmaster and Treant Protector. It's just too hard for Quinn to get much done, unfortunately, because usually he's the one that's popping off. He's the one who's making the plays. He's being aggressive. He's making the space for Yawar. I mean, this double damage rune is going to help a little bit, but it just feels like he's not enough by himself, right? You know, and that's not to say MSS hasn't been landing some really nice shackles, but it just feels like Crazy is just a little bit faster. They have a little bit better of a lineup to take the fight to them. SVG running for his life now, so is the rest of the team. Manages to land the Fire Blast, but they'll turn right back around again, and that's another kill for HFN. So he's looking very good right now. They don't manage to go and grab MSS. He's able to TP it out, and Quinn, again, just fleeing, using that Shadow Blade. Doesn't want to be here.
I think he could have roared there. That was very close, though. The biggest problem the Quincy crew has right now, though, is that they don't have a front line that can stand against all of this damage. They have no way. If they could stand, or if they could pose a DPS threat towards Crazy instead, then you could also have Quinn doing what, well, you want him to do, be that glass cannon on the backline. But there is no way for him to do that right now without dying. And if he dies, the damage is gone. And there is no way to win the fight anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I mean,
if he doesn't get involved, they also don't win the fight. It's very much a catch-22.
I love that phrase. Well, Lela's doing the best that he can. He has been landing some fantastic stomps, but they don't have the follow-up, and it almost feels like the immediate just reinitiate. Oh no, Lelis, the silence, the roar, and a couple clicks coming out from Bryle. It's still gonna be Casey who gets the final hit, but that is their big, beefy, tanky boy that is needed. And without him on the map, makes things a lot scarier for the side of Quincy.
And with all these waves out, it is very hard for Quincy crew to make an assassination move in return, because they'll always get found out. Quinn's going to try for it though.
I don't know about
Gonna
this
try
Quinn.
for Moon?
Okay.
Well, land it.
He'll land it. He should be able to use the Laguna Blade here, but it held
He
into
really
place.
doesn't
Oh,
wanna-
he still manages to leap away with the living armor. He just waits too long.
And here comes the
Oh,
cavalry.
and in comes Calvary. Yeah, they'll follow up. SVG is absolutely toast. Bryle's on a killing spree. And look at Yawar. He's trying everything he can, and he's doing a decent amount of damage, but he can't stand toe-to-toe with Bryle and with HFN. As now Quinn forced back, he cannot stand toe-to-toe. They're still hunting. They're looking. Can they grab them in time? There's a net being thrown out from the creep. MSS trying to run away. A nice gust comes out from HFN. Plus all that slow.
Look at how
Maybe
he's
a little
going.
bit more. Oh my goodness. MSS is just gone. What a
Actually,
fight.
just going for a
Beautiful.
absolutely beautiful indeed. It's very rough for Yawar though, because he's doing everything right, but that's just... It's a draw, and I wasn't kidding when I said that if you want to pick a first phase Terrorblade, you gotta be very ready for one of the 3 counter picks, and they stopped the draw from getting picked in the first game, or sorry, the previous game, but this time, they did not. And they're getting punished for it right now.
God, I love this dynamic duo of Bryle and Moon, the way that they move together. KZ too. These three players just have so much synergy, and they just have such a good sense of where they need to be.
They do.
Very
And there's
impressed by Moon Meander in particular too, during this entire
Yeah,
tournament.
there's something impishly joyful about the way in which Moon Meander just causes as much chaos as he can. He just looks like he's really enjoying himself, you know? In a bit of that Techies player way, you know? It's like, haha.
Gross techies players.
Yeah.
All right, Quincy Cruz.
Some of my best friends are Techies players.
I'm so sorry. I need to find you better friends. I failed you as a friend. Look at this. They have to get pushed back. This living armor plus the fortification is too much. And
Smoke
look,
coming
the
in from the back.
beeline. They want to intercept them. I don't think they're going to be fast enough, though. Unless maybe Stream Protector is keeping tabs on. He has the overgrowth. You've got the blink over on Bryle any second. Just wants to make sure that Yawar's not going to be able to run away here.
Oh, and our suspect here.
They are a bit split off. They cut down the trees. Bryle finds himself
you also
MSS,
don't want to be
but
together.
does manage to still be able to go pin him to the tree. So the rest of the side of Quincy crew should be able to survive, and they are just going to end up losing MSS.
This was the only lane that was pushed out, though. This is such a... You can call it a standard smoke from Crazy, but the speed with which they execute it is very nice. And it now means that, well, if they would have also managed to grab the creep wave here, they would have been able to take the last outer tower.
God,
Instead,
look at
they're going
the
to occupy themselves for him just a little bit.
buffs that they're able to place on HFN are just so good too with that solar crest, the extra little bit of attack speed. Alright, maybe they can make some plays on Moon. It's gonna be a stomp and a nice pickoff. So they finally get a little bit of revenge here on the side of Quincy. This is ridiculous, Kips. Look at the score. 18-6, 11k net worth lead for Crazy. I don't think anybody was expecting this.
I certainly was not.
I love it. I love to see competition.
Yes.
I did not want to stomp. By God, are they giving me one hell of a game here.
And let's face it, we were pretty worried about that, because that's what Quincy Crew's finals have looked like so far.
Yeah. Alright, Smoke here, standing on the high ground, getting into position. There's a nice double damage rune over here. It looks pretty tasty. But they could always bait, trying to wait for someone to pick it up. But look at this, HFN just doesn't care. HFN's in the bottom lane. It's a little bit suspect here, considering that no one is showing on the map. But looks like they're headed over near the Roche pit, and they kind of are moving a little bit funny here. They can't quite decide what they want to do. They do have plenty of scouting, though. So they'll spot them on the side. They'll take down that sentry ward, find themselves a craggy coat. Bryle standing off in position.
Kazu is just annoying the hell out of them with all of these summons. He's got vision every single time.
He's got a gem
Actually
too.
putting HFN in front.
Look at it. Just feels like Quincy's so scared to engage, though.
He should be. They only get one shot. I
Right.
think if you lose the fight here, it's game. And this draw is BKB. So you can't even reliably jump with your centaur anymore.
Radiant's top tower
Just gonna press that.
Quincy playing very tight right now. Like you said, Casey just being so annoying. This hero giving them so much information. Using just the summons, using the Helm of the Dominator creep, just trying to find out all the information that they can once they get
They're
into
going.
position. Yeah, again, they do have a gem over on Kazu. Casual arrow tossed out, will be sidestepped. Jump forward
Rod
though
just went
immediately
in.
with the BKB. Bryle, he wants this kill. Can they grab him in time? They use the roar. They want to just evaporate Quinn. And by God, they'll be able to do it. Now Lella's trying to run away immediately. The Sonic Fight pushing back everybody. The buyback comes out from Quinn. He's not ready to quite give this up just yet.
has fallen.
So the roar
Feels
was
like a
used. They
frustration buyback though.
still hold on to the overgrowth, and they could go into the pit if they wanted. Terrorblade illusion thrown in. They suspect something as they smoke up themselves. They know that the BKB is down, but they still have a BKB over here up and running over on HFN. They go into the triangle immediately. It smokes at a break. They land an arrow over onto MSS. The leap forward by Lelis. He's just too slow though, as they're able to go push them back. And that smoke from Quincy not effective. Owie.
Drow still has a
Occasionally do
BKB.
manage to go and land over onto HFN. They have to keep him alive a little bit longer, but they're able to take him down finally. So down goes the Drought Ranger. They've got their eyes now over onto Moon Meander, but he's got his own Yules. He's going to try to buy a little bit more time. Has to leap forward. Has to be careful near those trees. We'll turn back around, land a couple of these Star Storms, followed up with some of the axes. The slows coming out from Owie is looking so goddamn good right now. And he still has the overgrowth if they want to try to use it. He'll go, pop it over here on the
Nice.
side, but they'll find the opening over
Ryle's
on the
getting
They'll
hit.
get a kill. And they'll follow up. They drop the gem. Buyback coming out though from Ryle. He wants to be a part of this. Owie hiding over into the tree line. Kazu has absolutely no mana left, but they do have the BKB over onto Brock, but they're doing too much damage to him. He needs help. He needs to do something to keep him alive, and he goes. He blinks himself away. It looks like Owie now will fall. SVG to pop. Lelis finds the stop over onto Ryle. That living armor is not going to keep you alive this time. So
Oh, no.
a dieback on the Queen of Pain.
Oh, and it was also unnecessary. The only thing that needs to happen for that entire thing to turn around is for the Drow just to press her BKB when she's walking up next to that high ground. That's just disrespect.
It's just too cocky.
It is. Yes, and I can't believe that we're seeing that from Crazy after the amount of control that they showed before. I mean, they know that this is a draft win. They've been feeling really good about this game. They just need to finish it out neatly, and that is what they completely refuse to do there, especially the buyback from the Queen of Pain.
Oh, no, the jump forward immediately, trying to burst down Yuar, and they go. They use the Yules. Quinn trying to get into position here. They're looking for the shackle. Yuar taking a decent amount of damage, but Quinn, again,
Look at
Lelis
that
jumping into the
stomp.
pit. It's like a three of them as they just hold them into place. Are they going to be able to just wipe them down? HFN, he's got the BKB, but he has no life still. He's going to go down here as Moonmeander now held into place. He also falls. Lelis sitting on almost no health, 170-something hit points, as the rest of the side of Crazy are forced to just run away.
Radiant's middle tower.
Excuse me, Crazy, what is this?
I don't know. Owie, my friend. Do you know how close death is on your doorstep?
Radiant structures.
Think you can hear it breathe.
They have Gem on Lelis.
is under attack.
They might have been able to see him. Yeah, look at this. Just casually tossing out some of these
Fallen.
dragon slaves, trying to keep up the fiery soul stacks. What a stomp from Lelis, though. Beautiful.
Beautiful, but he also gets set up for that. That opportunity
True.
is just sort of gently laid at his moves. Here,
Has fallen.
you want this triple stomp? We are all in the pits.
Come and get it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All right. Well, we've got some BKBs picked up. We have one on Kazu now, so that should be helpful. But we also got a, I think, what is it, a Blink headed out for MSS, so his positioning is going to be even better.
Aghanim Scepter in the works for that Centaur. As well as that, Alina now has an Aegis. She's finally not going to be afraid to go in anymore. And that's going to be a big deal.
I mean, she might
This
be
is
a
the
little
situation.
afraid, but she's definitely going to be feeling better about it, right?
Definitely, yeah. This is the point where it's going to be hard for Crazy to deal enough damage because they have 2 damage dealing cores in Brawl and HFN, but 3 possible target cores.
I mean, I guess the scary thing is the fact that HFN still has so much more room to grow, right? If you look at his items.
Oh yes. Like, let's face it, Crazy did their best to throw right there, but with the matchup of the Drow into the Terrorblade, he needs to throw another time still in order to make it really hard for himself. This game is still, I can't say that it's still comfortable because obviously their morale took a big hit, their waves are not pushed out anymore, and it's not as safe as before to do it anymore either. So they are definitely under pressure and the siege is coming in, but this game is only barely back to neutral ground here.
It's crazy, he has to play with a little bit more discipline. They'll push the creep way back here. Again, they do have the Aegis on the Lina, so they want to siege as much as possible. There's going to be the Metamorphosis coming out from Yuar as well. He's got the Bloodlust. They'll get the Roar off. They need to burst him down very quickly, though, as Bryle, though, jumping onto the back line.
Once
Here
again,
does
no
get the Sun
BKB.
Wave, but he's taking too much damage here for Quinn. He's got to run. The BKB just barely keeping him alive as they just go to town over here on the side, but they don't have enough damage. They can't stand toe-to-toe with them. Lelis, though, look at these Frost arrows. They have to be careful, though. BKB is no longer available over onto HFN. It has gone down, and they have all of these daggers as they're just trying to just burst them down, keep pushing them down. They do finally manage to take down Yuart, and they'll take down Quinn. That's his first life. Aegis coming up next. KZU trying to get into position, growling, making sure that he doesn't have anyone to run to. And this Quinn, he just doesn't have the HP. He's a glass cannon. So the BKB, it's cute. It keeps him alive a little bit longer so they can't stun him, but they just have too much damage, Kips.
They do, but you can see when all 3 of the cores of Quincy crew are up on that high ground, it was very hard for Crazy for a while, and definitely fighting into that Crimson Guard as well. Not fun for all those range right clickers, but once that is over, and once the first heroes have to back out and spread out, it becomes way easier for Crazy to focus down the heroes that they want. And Yuar, if he gets unlucky with getting hit by these Drow Ranger shots, the butterfly doesn't do a thing for him.
He wasn't even able to get off Sunder. Like, that's how fast they just mowed through him. Alright, well, Lois, what can you do, my friend? How do you keep them off of your buildings? You're the only core that's up right now. And look at the way that they're spread out. They know that they can't afford to let him get another triple stomp. Ryle dodging around a little bit here. It's going to be a tower taken out. They're grouped up pretty close, but again, if Lois jumps on that, he is going to have some issues here, as they'll turn their attention now over to the top tower.
I'd say his issues are mortality, mostly.
Yes, I could understand that for sure. And we still have the overgrowth, so you can see Owie getting into position off to the side. If they can find this open engagement, be very happy. That's going to be more buildings down, though, as the top and the mid fall. And it looks like they've had enough because HFN's already TP'd back down to this bottom wave. He wants to get farmed up. He wants to get himself some more items. And he figures the rest of his team should be absolutely fine over here for now.
I would have liked it if they had some vision left to place here, but unfortunately, Aoi is all out, so they have to evacuate the enemy side of the map pretty soon without leaving anything, unless they're going to stand right here. Is Yuar going to... No, he gets warned.
He's scared. Ooh, the arrow?
Yeah, there's wards flying in.
That was very close. Alright. Most of the lanes pushed in now. Bottom, a little bit shoved towards the bottom, but nothing to be too concerned. And you know that they want to play top here. They want to make sure that the next time that Roche is up, they will be the ones in control. They will be the ones getting all of his goodies.
Exactly. And it's crazy with the superior map mobility, so they're not too worried about letting a wave push in.
It's like
And
no
go back and forth fairly easy.
Use the Moonlight Shadow. Arcane Rune's gonna get snatched up here. And still no Roche. It's gonna be about another minute and a half or so. Could be longer. The Leveler found, though, here by the Lina. That's a really nice item.
Especially for the Terrorblade, but in order for him to use it, they have to...
Get to the
or,
base?
like, use it properly, they have to get to the base, yes. The attack speed's not exactly unwelcome either. But...
It's Interesting how they don't want to give up being in this top area because they know if they go to the bottom to try to push out, most likely Roche will respawn and it's going to take too long for them to get back. Spell Prism found on Lena too. Another very nice item.
Just holding it. And it's the same principle as during that previous game where if you don't hold this area, it's going to be very hard to jump back up into it. At this point, it is starting to get dangerous to fight straight up into your war without getting yourself a high ground advantage first.
I'm just constantly shoving in these waves here. Know you are, though, so if they spot themselves a good opportunity, they might be able to engage on it. And look at this, we're sending some of the boars over. There's 4 people here.
Well, they can certainly guess where he's at right now because there's some fresh illusions.
Guess. But the wave's getting shoved in the top, too. They are going to have to respond to this.
At least there's no more important buildings there, so, you know, Quincy crew can afford to lose a couple more base buildings there.
Sean may respawn in...
There's Aoi back to base.
Long Roche.
I just briefly had a mental glimpse of Roshan with a neck like a giraffe.
That would be terrifying.
It would be a long rush.
That definitely would.
I'll take that.
Runes are up though, so we can see. Man, we're going pretty late here. We got a 40-minute game this time around.
And it didn't have to be. Let's be absolutely clear about that. But HFN, he's definitely going through these cycles of recovery of the confidence, overconfidence, and back down to clenched jawed, I gotta do better next time.
How
really
wild
see
would
in
it
his
have been
face.
if suddenly this was like, if they had won game number 2, right? And then they managed to take, like, oh man.
If they win game 2, I'd say they maybe even throw this one.
Wow, okay.
Just, yeah, well... I'm sorry, I have literally no good words for what happened over in the Radiant Triangle about 10 minutes ago. That's just unacceptable. But if you haven't won the draft this hard, there's no way you get away with that.
Another smoke play here coming out from Quincy. They're just really hoping they can grab anyone. Bryle showing himself here. Lelis looking for the opening. Immediately the BKB comes out for Bryle. They turn it right back around again. Aoi getting into position. K's against Aurora. Aurora to put on the back line. Followed up with a beautiful arrow here as they're just shredding through Lelis. But they have to be careful. Nice Sonic Wave though, pushing everybody back here. Coming out from the side of Bryle. And the Scotty damage, it hurts. It hurts so much, but they're just not able to do enough here to take him down. Bryle just gonna blink himself away. And it was a whole lot of nothing, it felt.
It was, yeah. There is a problem with the Drow's positioning where she held most of Quincy crew away until it was clear that they didn't actually have enough damage to kill the Lena over on the side, so the Drow had to switch positions, but then as it turns out that also allowed Yawar to come down that hill and take over. And in the end, everybody gets to live.
But for how long is the real question? Wind Ranger snapping up the Arcane Rune. So Roche is going to respawn in about 8 seconds. And they don't have the overgrowth this time. It's down for another 40. Have the roar back up in 10, though. There is no meta, and that's also extremely scary for the side of Quincy. They could kite them for days. Quinn doing some scouting. Sees that Roche is up. I don't think you can go in there.
Don't think so either.
They're considering it though. Look at this. Maybe baiting a bit. The blink forward again, coming out from Bryle. He does have the BKB up if he wants to go for it. Light Striker Ray's gonna land though over here from Quinn, but they follow up with the roar. It's beautiful. The stuff over on the back lines here coming out from Lelis. Are they gonna be able to do this? HFN's trying to man fight, but he can't do it. There's just too much damage. He's gonna force it out in some way. The leap forward coming out from Moon Meander, and there's Power Shot, but again, he has that BKB. SVG will fall over on the back lines though. MSS trying to find HFN. He's not gonna be able to. Bryle just holding everybody at bay over here, but eventually HFN will fall, as will Aoi. And he just blinks right forward over here into MSS. They have the Moonlight Shadow. They'll back off. They don't have that detection.
Once again, HFN just doesn't press his BKB. Too greedy. Gets stomped again.
I think this opens up this Roche very nicely for the side of Quincy crew.
It does, yes. And they definitely have the damage to take this down.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think there's going to be any contest from Crazy on this, and they have to play very tight from now on.
There it is. And Terrorblade actually picking up the Ag's Blessing. Alright. Get that little bit of fear. That'll come in handy.
Very useful when they're focus firing him down. The other problem that is upcoming is that there's going to be an MKB on this Wind Ranger very soon, and at that point she can actually go toe-to-toe with the Drow, with both of them. Well, Drow is also
I mean, she's
building the
already
vision right
going
now.
toe-to-toe with Drow, it seems.
Yep.
Lellis on the bottom lane trying to run away. He's not going to be able to, I don't think. I think there's enough
Sunder.
to go the Sunder. Thanks, you are.
They might have seen Brawl turn around there. I didn't. I'm not staying around anyway.
This is like a neck and neck game now. We've only got 1k net worth advantage. A lot of similar, you know, a couple more buildings going over to the side of Crazy here, but it's still really anyone's game. Just all depends on these initiations. If they can get some sort of a pick-off on the side of Crazy, I think things will go exceptionally well for them. But on the flip side, the 5-man coming out now from the side of Quincy Crew is absolutely terrifying, especially when you consider the fact that Terrorblade does have that Ags on him now.
And they don't have enough damage on Crazy. They don't. With the Terrorblade being this big, the Drow has to hit him, but that means that Brawl has to take care of all the other heroes of Quincy Crew basically on his own, because the rest of his team is all utility.
That is a problem.
That is just not doable.
Bryle. And Lellis
fire.
over here. Quinn literally playing with fire. Casual Nature's Grasp. Now he just walks away. See Bryle looking at a courier here, thinking about a snipe. Is just gonna cut the waves. And just a little bit of an invasion going on here from Quincy Crew, but they're doing a good job of playing cat and mouse. They're just trying to buy some more time, trying to get some more farm over here on HFN. But like you said, he's gotta hit that BKB. He can't play this greedy. This is like when you see some of the, what was it? There was a South American player actually, alone. It's like a baby too. I think he's like 16 years old. Absolutely fantastic, but he was playing Storm Spirit and he refused to hit his BKB and they lost because of it. Because he just got too greedy time after time after time. Like, HFN is not a 16-year-old boy.
He is not.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
And everybody just TPing out. They don't want to be here anymore. They've made them join them. And they go right back over here to their base.
At the very least, this is now Butterfly for the Drow. A lot more damage for her, though of course not a lot of extra survivability, seeing as that there is an MKB over on that Wind Ranger. Well, actually, she switched out for it. Oh, that is good news from HFN.
There's a little bit of a stampede here as Owie gets caught out. Takes some time,
That
but
is
eventually
fine.
they'll find the kill.
This is really good news for HFN.
I'm surprised that there's no lifesteal on HFN. But I guess it's tough, right? What do you swap out?
At this point, you ask Kezu to buy
Please
you
buy
a
him.
Vlad's.
Yeah, I was about to say, please buy me a Vlad's. Does have a
You
refresher
should-
for the roar, though. The jump forward immediately getting over here onto Quinn, so he's just absolutely
Quinn's
blown up.
deleted.
And now they're gonna go right back in again. They follow up with that overgrowth. He has a second round here as he uses that. Immediately going to town over here on Lellis. Lellis will die, and there's it is. There's the fear. As they'll buy Yawar just a bit more time to run away. He's got a BKB and run his way out. What? Wow. Did Lena buy back, like, immediately?
Yes, she did.
Oh my gosh.
And not with BOTs on her either, though.
Maybe just worried about the... That was a beautiful fight, though, and they were not expecting that refresher coming out from Keizu. Not at all.
Absolutely not. I mean, this is how the fights are supposed to go for Crazy when they have all the information, and this is... Once again, Quincy Crew get turned at the high ground. Just underestimating that sheer damage, but at the same time, they feel like they have to go for the win at some point, right? Right? At some point, their Turblade is going to be big enough. Well, not quite yet.
Alright, well, we've got that double damage room bottled for later over on Brile. HFN wants this tower, one hit, should do the trick. A little bit of a scouting arrow, trying to see if anyone's lurking. Now's your chance here, although it is tough, right? Because Terrorblade's back up.
Yes.
He doesn't have meta though, so this could be the best opportunity that you have. HFN going forward here, he's got so much damage, just sitting far back, and that Shackle not quite lining up the way that they were hoping. They've got a Lotus on him too. They'll take down the tower. They're waiting in position here. They do have the Roar back up over here on KZ. If they get that opportunity, they could make something happen, but they're respecting it. They're a little afraid here. Don't want to bite off more than they can chew. Overgrowth is back up as well, so all they have to do is kind of wait patiently, see if Quincy Crew starts to tilt. If they start to make these mistakes, if they get out of position, this is Crazy's game to win. But the question is, will they make that mistake?
And Quincy Crew have gotten to the top of NA Dota by just being so unbelievably consistent. I doubt that they're going to make a fatal mistake here. Crazy's going to have to force it, like they've forced everything up until now.
It's true. They are really spread out though right now. They do have to be careful. Shackle doesn't quite land over. And look at them, they're just hugging each other.
I'll take that.
I'm afraid to get picked off. They know if they get picked off, that could very much be game for them. And they don't have buyback on some of the heroes right now.
So I think that's why they're spread out in farming as well. Crazy wants to have their buybacks up. MKB on Brile now.
The damage is
He's a
getting
right-click to
intense.
Menace as well.
He's got the, yeah, you look at this. He's got the double damage. He's just got a haste rune on him as well. No, never mind. Must have just finished up here. Trades out the bottle. And don't unpause. Sure, it's fine.
Brile hits for a cool 550 damage right now.
He's got the Scream of Pain fear too. That's actually such a big deal. This is a very scary big Queen of Pain. HFN, of course, has the 30% cooldown reduction. Just hit your BKB, HFN. That's what you need to do. Hit your BKB. The rest of your team will follow you up. They will back you up. You just gotta not immediately pop. But again, I'm not a pro player, so, you know, don't listen to me. I'm not your mom. I just feel like it might be a good idea. You know, what do I
talk like my mom, though.
Young lady, don't make me send you to your room.
Oh, what do you know? I'm already in my room.
Yeah,
I live here. I have only one room.
You have one room, right? Poor Kips has been in Finland for like, what, half a year now?
Yep, half a year.
And I'm sure you're looking forward to going home at some point. No one wants to go home in this game, though, unless they're going home winners, right? Yeah?
Yeah?
Take a moment and have some more monster energy here. So we stay energized.
That is actually a very good idea.
What time is it where you're at right now, Kips?
5 in the morning.
Guys, Kips has been casting since 2 p.m. in the afternoon where she is, so shout out to Kips for coming for the long haul, staying entertaining, giving us a lot of interesting insight. You're an MVP there. You beautiful sunfish, you.
Honestly, I want to thank Crazy and Quincy Crew for putting on this amazing show, because I was worried that this was going to be a bloodless 3-0, and, you know, I'd be going to bed at 4 being like, yeah, I guess that was some Dota. And instead I'm here at 5 in the morning being like, yes, I want to still be here when my boyfriend wakes up to go to university.
Oh God, yeah. I guess that was some Dota. No, you know, this is such... I'm so happy that we're getting this kind of game, because...
Oh,
again,
there we are.
Oh,
Quincy Crew finals curse.
No, Quincy Crew. Sag. This happened. Oh my God. Usually it's a power outage. Usually. Yeah, look at Casey ready for some 6 a.m. Dota. Oh no.
If he's lucky, he's on CEST, so one time zone, 1 hour less deep into the night, but Agent Yor.
Oh no. All right. What do they have any backup situations here for UR? Is he able to? Ooh, this is not like again too like if you're crazy, you don't want to win this way. You want to prove that you are the best. Like this is the team that you want to take down. You want to show like, hey, look at us. We are, we've gotten so good over the past couple months that we have been able to take down these kings. And oh God, oh no.
So you want to do that in style, and they can do that in style. He's back. That was fast.
Okay.
They have a backup
Maybe
generator just for his daughter.
Maybe it was a
That's
hiccup. Maybe
great.
they have two lines, It is I don't know where he's playing from. I don't know if he lives near I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad we're still getting this game. I did not want to see just, poor SVG or MSS trying to micro UR.
Oh, that would have been just tragic. So
It would have been sad.
fingers crossed. There he is. Go,
Let's
go, go.
boys. Go, go, go.
Hit it.
I'm sure poor UR is probably stressing out of his brain there, just like, oh God.
Again.
All right, well, he's here. And hopefully it stays going. He's got the Shaco, right?
Shaka. I think it's Shaka, actually.
It's a Shaka?
It's an old-fashioned military hat, I believe.
Well, I do know that. I just don't know the pronunciation of it.
It's Shaka.
I'm sure someone will make fun of me in chat eventually about it. All right, double damage and still here on Brile. Just about to go out, though, so. Shoving in the lane. And they're just waiting. Look at this. They're trying to bait with the Drow, having the Lincolns on one of the illusions. They don't fall for it, though. They're too smart, these Quincy boys.
Adding with some illusions of their own.
They're actually invading here. That's a very scary play. Drow is showing herself the rest of the Moonlight Shadow, rather. The jump forward here from Brile. Pops the Lincolns. Poking a little bit at SVG. Brile taking a lot of damage. KZ follows up. He gets a beautiful roar to follow it through. But where's the damage? Brile just being held into place. He is gonna just get obliterated here as Owie. Oh my God. The damage coming out. Just instantly gets destroyed. KZ has to TP away. They don't have any way to cancel it. And already HFN, he's just left. He's like, absolutely not. This was not the fight. I am out.
No, I couldn't.
Assess with the voice lines. All right.
Very close there, though.
And another double damage rune down here. Hey, you are. Doesn't see it. They're hunting. And they're tossing out an arrow. Will land. No, won't land on the list.
Nope.
My bad, but
Not
look at
yet.
this.
They're cutting in from behind.
They are. If they
Oh,
catch.
HFN.
No, they know. They have the boar there. They have vision. The courier's already leaving. Moon Meander here, hiding in the tree line. They spot out the double damage rune. Looks like MSS probably. He's gonna try to save it for Quinn.
Get that in bottle. That's going to be a powerful weapon for the next fight. And the next fight is going to be about Roshan. It has just respawned. And the timing couldn't actually be worse for Crazy.
They don't have the overgrowth. You don't have Brile up. This thing's just gonna go down way too fast.
There's no contesting.
Yeah. There it is. Get the refresher shard too. You get the cheese, Aegis, everything. It's looking very scary now for the side of Crazy.
So let's see. Cheese and refresher over on Lelis. He's got that axe as well, so that is a lot of damage reduction. The Drow can be wailing on them for quite a while. Nothing's gonna happen. This can win them a fight. Just the one.
Oh my god, the BKB coming in here from Keizo, immediately jumping in. They need to blow up Yawar. Are they gonna be able to do it in time though? Yes, they will. Down goes Yawar as they turn back around. A Quinn on the back line. So this is gonna get the kill over onto Owie. SVG also to fall. And Lelis trying to run away. That unpath here will be able to turn back around over onto MSS. He's trying so hard to stay alive, but he's not going to be able to. And Quinn here, he's just fighting through with. Oh no! He buys back. He's got the fear. He's going to force everybody to run away. Bryle now forced to try to run, but Lelis jumping forward here. Again, they do have the Lincolns. It's not going to be enough to save Bryle, though. I don't think. No, he's got the blink. He's still alive. HFN though being thrown up into the air. He needs someone to help him. There's going to be the BKB, but he's dishing out so much damage. That Glimmer Cape saving his bacon. Moon Meanders, they all just retreat back. They do not have Owie for this, but they did buy back on Yuar. No more Aegis either.
No more Refresher either. That is pretty much all of their goodies spent in one go. Just a cheese left.
Oh, MSS looking for the opening over onto Moon Meander. They do have the Force Staff, though. Look at this damage. It is just absolutely grotesque. There are creeps in their base, though. Looks like they are going to send Quinn back to go deal with it, as the rest of the team, they TP away.
And this is once again not what Quincy crew had in mind when they took all of those Roshan goodies. I can't believe this game is still going. Surely it should have tipped over to one side or another by this point, but we are going straight for the final tier of neutral items, I believe, at this rate.
Might as well wait for them at this route.
Waiting for anything is dangerous. But yeah. At some point, your hand is forced. Let's see. There is space for some moon shards on both of these carries.
Okay, there's the
Scale a little
Satanic.
bit further.
I feel like HF, he needed something for lifesteal, because he can't stay toe-to-toe otherwise. It's just too difficult. Oh, Owie jumping forward with a beautiful overgrowth for the rest of the team. They have to get over there much faster. Okay, the jump forward here coming out from KZ manages to go, gets that yell up, but then again, Owie just getting shredded over onto the back lines. MSS has a nice shackle. They have the dust. They'll go right back in again, and it looks like they're going to try to back off. The leap forward, though, coming out from Moomiander, trying to protect Bryle. Bryle looking for this opening here, gets the Sonic Wave off, but Lelis following up with a nice stuff, and they have the Laguna Blade. Are they going to be able to take down Bryle? No, he's going to be able to go force himself away just a little bit further.
How is nobody dead yet?
I don't know. No one's dying. They're still just fighting it out here. You've got the Drow illusion just chipping away over here at Lelis. Yuar off to the side here. They go back in. They want to find this opening. They find low HFN. He gets jumped on immediately, followed up with the arrows, though. They buy them a little bit more time to follow through the Lotus Orb. Lelis, did he go too far? Is he going to be able to stay alive? Okay, no, they'll save him a little bit longer, but Yuar, man fighting over here with HFN. He goes for the center play over onto Kazu. Kazu trying to run away. They'll find the kill on Moon Meander. HFN, though, he's left behind. He does have those spider legs, though, but over on the side, Lelis finding him. BKB comes out from HFN. He's finally realized, I have to get out of here. And he pops it, finally. And all this is going down. You've got creeps. You've got so many range creeps wailing away on this tower. You're going to lose this tower. Although Quinn has TP'd back. Nope, down goes one. And there's a whole other fight down here as they do manage to find Kazu. They have buyback, though, on all of the heroes on Crazy. So it's not over yet, Kips.
Definitely isn't, but the shot calling for that fight seems to be confused. They desperately want to get Quinn over on the side, so HFN actually makes his way over, but it's the same problem as before, where as soon as he takes the pressure off of Yuar, people around him start dying, because he is the only one that can force Yuar to stay back.
There's another double damage outside of that Roche pit.
I wonder if anyone's going to check it. I mean, Moon Meander would, but...
Moon Meander, yeah, he loves some runes.
Yeah.
Loves him some runes, but alright, what do we have? We've got everything up except for the Sonic Wave, which should be up very shortly anyways, about 20 seconds. Got living armor. They've got ways to deal. Have to watch out for Lelis, though. That's the big scary. Divine Rapier, it's happening! I'm getting my Rapier again.
There we are.
Let's go! Let's go, boys. They jump forward immediately over here onto Bryle. They're going to force staff and force staff.
Grass
Over to the
force,
screen.
beautiful!
Nobody's able to blink away. He's still absolutely fine. But while this is going on, they are putting damage onto these racks. They need to do something. There's a big wave headed over into their base back on the Dire. They have to be so careful here. All right. Mid is down. Look at this. They ping it out. They're like, we need to get back. Someone's got to go back. It looks like Yuar is going to be the one to head out. Do we go for a smoke here? Do we see Crazy taking advantage of this?
They definitely want to, and they have the full refresher, double primal roar up on Kezu again. So once they get him back up, get his information back up as well, there's definitely a possibility for them to make this smoke happen. You can see the route. Satanic. While they know they need more right-click damage.
They need to survive is the big thing too, which is a huge problem. Look at this Quincy crew. They know they cannot be caught with their pants down. They have to go back. They have to stay close. Because if one of them gets picked off, they don't have buyback on a lot of their heroes over on the side of Quincy crew. Look at them just positioned around their ancient. This is my ancient. There are many like it, but this one is mine. A little bit of hunting.
That is a grim story you're telling there.
It is. Alright. Take over the outpost. Get some of this control back again. Satanic
Very
picked
important
up now too.
avenue.
4 you are. God, look at his items.
He's running out of slots.
He is stacked. He doesn't even have his boots. Like, he's got to put them in his backpack at this point and just hope the fight comes to him. Arrow? No. Sidestep. Grabbing up the runes. Moon Meander might get caught out here.
Oh, no,
No, okay, looks like Moon Meander's going to be the one who gets jumped on. So, they won't be able to find that. Again, the Yosa buyback, though, coming out from Marana immediately. Brile trying to push them back using that fear. As they'll use the Stampede to run away. Book of the Dead. Alright, here we go. Tier 5 items, baby. Let's see them. Seer Stone.
Oh, that is absolutely amazing for Lina.
Stygian Desolator. That's pretty nice. What
The real
else we got
question
in
is,
this party pinata?
Are we
Pirate
getting the
hat?
ballista? It's still not a ballista, though.
It is not a ballista. You are correct.
I'll take that.
Feels bad. Do they? How many? Clicking on stuff. They only have 2 of the tier 5 items, and it's not safe for them to go out on the side of Quincy crew. That feels really
They
bad.
have zero
Wow!
information.
Look at this. They're going back. They go and grab a halberd for Keizu. There's an Apex. Oh my god.
Apex
Hello.
Drow is also decent.
These are some
To put it mildly.
fantastic items for HFN.
Oh, wow.
Alright.
At the very least, Quincy crew feels like it's safe to move out to try and get some more of their own as well.
They have to. They
Seer Stone is ending up on SVG. Quinn feels like he really needs a lifesteal from the Paladin sword. And still with the Shaco up on Yor.
Where are these items at, though? Okay, they've got... I still only have 2 on the side of Quincy crew. Horrible spot out.
Come on, Gaben.
That multicast, though. Roach is up. Roach is up. There's a bottle just left in the pit here.
This is what we've all been waiting
Arrow?
for.
Ooh, an arrow lands over here on Mr. SVG, but I don't think you jump on that. That's way too baity.
That could have paid off big for Crazy though, but at this point in the game it's just too late to take those risks.
It's too scary. Look at them. They're all saving up for this buyback. The only ones that don't have buyback are Yor, and they don't have buyback on the Marana. Smoke's gonna get used. Brile will blink into the pit. Start this off. Does have a Stygian Desolator. Pretty nice. Keizu waiting around the side here. Throws out the axe. They see with the power shot.
Get scouted.
They gotta get in there faster. They gotta make sure that they don't. Okay, the BKB coming out from Brile. They use their own BKB. Awio, though, over on the back lines. He's looking for this opening, and they immediately just blow up SVG. Keizu looking again for the roar, but look at this damage coming out from Yor. Keizu's just taking too much, and they don't have the vision. They don't have... No, there it is. There's the Dragon Slave coming out as they do manage to take down Keizu. He's got the buyback.
Jesus just casually left in the pit. Nobody's interested in that. Maybe SVG? Yeah, he's gonna go pick it up. Whatever.
Yeah, he wants that. He wants a little snack. He's a big boy, that ogre.
Quinn gets
Oh
the
my God.
ballista. That's a keeper.
Think how stressed out these guys would be. I'm stressed out just casting this, but imagine being these teams right now.
I mean, I've been there. You eat all your nails and your hair grows gray. That's pretty much what happens.
Well, at least I look like an anime character if my hair all goes gray. Oh, owie.
Are scanning.
He's fine. Just blinks away. They use a scan because I know that he was pushing it out using that Nature's Grasp. One of the nice things about having a tree and a protector. But again, it definitely feels like Quincy crew on the back foot right now. They will have buyback soon for Yuar, though, which is very important. But if he doesn't have the Metamorphosis, it's going to still be difficult. Another double damage round. Man, we've seen so many double damage rounds.
You have, and this one goes once again to Quincy crew.
Mm-hmm.
No bottle left, though.
Yeah, we are beyond the point of bottles at this point. Okay.
I think that Drive should probably be thinking about picking up an Aghanims for herself. Just get that buff, consume it, you don't need to carry it around. Everyone's just searching for Owie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are.
They gonna get him?
Oh!
They're gonna get him!
Oh, they found him! Did they? No,
Wait,
they don't
but
find
they
him in
can't see
time.
him. Oh wow, that gem is on SVG, but he's just too far away.
Look how fast Owie is, too. Oh my god, plus the blink. He's got the vision, too, keeping scouting, making sure that he has eyes on everyone trying to follow him around. It's just a thorn in their side. I think it's so funny. SS still looking. Still haven't managed to get their hands on that rascally tree.
And this is a Book of the Dead on that tree as well. So if they let him do this, their wrecks are under threat. It's a bit of a stalemate, actually.
It's a definite stalemate. We're hitting
Centaur.
66 minutes here. It's all about getting that initiation and finding the pick-off, but they're just hugging each other so close. God, look at this army of just necrobooks and creeps and whatnot here.
At some point, you gotta risk it all.
But who's gonna crack first? That's my question. I feel like Owie's just doing these like terrible mental torments here on everybody. Look, he's got himself a completed Ag Scepter now. And he still has buyback. Like, this game just gets more and more ridiculous. We're gonna have the whole map covered. They're gonna know exactly where he is. Someone's gonna have to carry a... Well, actually, they don't have to carry a Quelling Blade, right? They have methods of cutting down these trees, but...
I have officially settled down in my chair.
Don't go to sleep on me, Kips. I need you. Oh, Bryle?
Oh no. Oh, no.
Bryle?
Just saving the back.
He's trying to bait. Look at him. Hey guys, look at me. I'm just a little Queen of Pain. No big deal. Okay, they
Sky?
managed to maybe find Owie, but the arrow comes in. Lelis is now separated so far
Lelis.
back. They're forced to just run away. Queso, though, on the back line, looking for Quinn, trying to find this opening, but they go over into the back lines and they manage to go and get trapped on the side, and nobody dies again.
I'm just flabbergasted.
Look at how many roars Keizu has now. We've got a shard, we've got a refresher, he's got mangoes because he knows he's gonna need that mana to be able to go and get all of his off. What a life he's leading at 6 a.m. in the morning. Shout out to
stocked up on a
Keizu.
monster too.
I'm sure he
Yeah.
does.
He's a warrior. The vision advantage is going to grow that much bigger for the side of Crazy right now, and you would hope that that is going to give them the advantage in whatever fight is coming up, but I don't think either of these teams by now is willing to have a fight without their squad being up on a high ground while the other is not.
I'd agree with that. I think you definitely need some sort of extra vision advantage, although they're getting plenty of a vision advantage now with the fact that Triad has these eyes in the forest. MKB does get finished now for the Wind Ranger. It's a bit late, but again, you know, better late than never.
Exactly.
But just look at all these trees. Always just got eyes everywhere. You have to be careful, though. They have a smoke. You can see that, yeah, look at this. Throwing out the arrow, hoping maybe... Blah, blah, blah. Wow, that's words. I speak English. Thank you. Okay, there it is. There's that Ags coming out from Drow. Another arrow tossed out. Does manage to land on you are. Not sure if that's the real one. Look at, oh my god, look at the damage. Look how fast Queen of Pain's hitting. Oofa.
She just doesn't want to hit this book of the... Look at that! The necro creeps just fighting each other, because if the heroes do it, they're gonna kill themselves.
Look at how carefully they're playing this. I'm zoomed all the way out on my camera here, because I don't want to miss a thing, but it's... Oh man. With how fast they move. Especially the way that Brile blinks in there, or the follow-up from Lelis. I just... And look at this, they don't even have Yuar. They could make a play right now. Yuar's not there. Moonlight Shadow gets used. Brile on the hunt. They do have wards over on the side. A jump forward here from KZU. Looking for the ward, manages to only land over here on SVG, but they'll go to pop the link and Sonic Wave comes out. The jump forward here coming over once. He's just a little bit too late here. As they just back off again. They know that, oh, Yuar though, he wants us. He's gonna go right in, and there's gonna be HFN. Do they see him? He's turned back right. He's got the BKB. He's gonna run a little bit faster. They have so much damage over here, and he does have the Sonic. He needs to turn back around. Another ward coming out from KZU. That's gonna be the second rather. They have the Fallen Sky. KZU trying to run away. Still has the shard on him. Aoi trying to get into position is looking. He does have the overgrowth. The rest of the team, they're not here. They're not gonna be able to support them. This is looking like a very dead KZU. As he does get slain.
Finally, some action on the board, and what such awkward positioning from Crazy there. All in those trees.
I don't know why HFM was so forward either. But I guess perhaps they weren't expecting that Yuar would just come running in like, oh, it's go time. You know,
He's been waiting.
He has been waiting. Waiting very patiently, and it pays off because they finally managed to net themselves a kill. Got a refresher orb picked up now for UR too. He's gonna probably keep that in case he goes down, so he has the meta up.
Yep, exactly.
Lincoln's picked up now for Quinn. What a game.
What a game. Everyone has buyback now, except for poor SVG.
He's getting there. He'll get there eventually. A couple multicasts will do the trick. Brile needs to be
it.
careful though, because in comes Lelis. No, he blinks out, but Aoi? Vision just yet. I say yet. They definitely know he's there. They still have that blink though, so leaving them on a little bit of a wild goose chase. Tree chase. Oh, no, but they find the stomp. All right, they do finally manage to take down Aoi. He has the buyback though.
It's just waiting for Roshan again.
Seems to be it.
I think HFN at some point needs to bite the bullet, buy a rapier, and keep standing.
I agree with that. I think it's rapier time. They're hoping that maybe they can get a free rapier off of UR, but that's looking very difficult.
That's looking very difficult indeed.
They are split up a little bit now, but they don't have super great vision, okay? Oh, they know that Lena's there! Find the opening over onto MSS. They've got the sheep stick. Run, little piggy, run! But you know what? In comes your ward. Trying to make it over here to Barai, but they can't do it. He's got the BKB. He's too fast as they just run away. The BKB getting popped over here on KZU as well. Is looking for a roar, but they're just too afraid to engage upon each other.
I back down from Aoi though. That's important.
That is
Prince
big.
Crew have a win condition now. And Roshan is up. At this point, does it even matter?
I don't know. Nobody's dying anyway, Kips.
I mean, obviously it does matter.
Get in that pit. Alright, let me see. Show me what you got, Quinn. Creeping forward here. Still only has a Shadow Blade. And that rush just goes down so fast. They're trying to figure out who picks up what, who drops what, where does what go where. So just run away again. There's still a refresher in the pit. Another couple arrows tossed out for some scouting. They do manage to go pick up the refresher shard. They don't want to leave that in the pit. That'd be a big disaster here. Let's see, yeah. Okay, Queen of Pain going for the Abyssal Blade. Brile's like, oh my god, guys.
Well, mirroring Jawar, who's also got one now, and the Drow still has to fear.
They have to keep going back and deal with these creeps too. Oh my god. Look at this.
Wow!
Crazy. Creeping.
They're finally
Making their
going
way
for
to
it.
that base. Can they get the pick off? Can they do this fast enough? It's gonna be tough. Ryle, over on the low ground, waiting patiently. Quinn walking out. Laura's only here. They're looking to just finish this. They've had enough. See that tower?
I think they can
He's
actually
gonna
do
reveal
it.
themselves. Can they grab themselves? You are is the question. Okay, they use the wrong weapon. Again, there's the Abyssal Blade. They jump right back in again. The BKBs are coming out in mass as he doesn't appear.
But you are melting!
They have the right. You are! He's down! He's got buyback. He's come right back up again, but
Right
that's
here
gonna
on
be
the
a Rapier
ground.
dropped over onto the deck as HFN now. He's gotta find himself to get himself away. There's all the 4 steps in the world. Trying to push him back, trying to fight. He does have that Axe Scepter too. So back off. They get the kill on Noir. They manage to force the buyback. The leap forward here coming out from Murana. Moonmeander is taking too much damage. He's going to be next to fall. They do have buyback on him as well.
The story of how Yor got his rapier back.
Dire's middle tower
They gotta go forward now.
They've got creeps hitting their buildings though too. They need to force back this buyback out of the Murana, for sure.
If they don't, they're going to get forced into a corner where this life of Yor is just too precious to spend, and it's like they're backing off.
Oh god.
That's scary. That gives Crazy another opportunity to organize some form of an assassination attempt on him, and he still dies so fast. It is unbelievable. This man has all of the items in the world, and he dies. Drow shreds him like a sheet of tissue paper.
Oh, this is... Moonmeander's very happy right now. He doesn't have to buy back. He can hold on to it for a later date.
HFN's also getting closer to his level 30, which will increase his DPS by a lot as he's getting the extra marksmanship chance.
That is true. A lot of us are reaching towards that level 30 now. Somebody's got to go home though. They have to keep responding to these creeps being pushed out. This top wave is never pushed out enough, it feels. Alright, Crazy. Making their way into the bottom lane. Just giving it a good old shove.
Thanks.
We are getting to the point where the gold lead is also becoming meaningless. Like,
Oh,
sure,
yes.
it looks like 14k, that's what, 3 items? It's about as much gold as Yor is carrying around in his backpack. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but only a little bit.
Okay, he did get himself a moon shard finally. He's waiting for people to start picking those up.
Now where do we go from here? Waiting
Well, Murana's
for
turning
another
into a
rush.
DPS soon. She's got the Sheepstick, now she's got an MKB, so... Making that transition. Level 30 now on Queen of Pain, almost level 30 on the Drow Ranger.
I would really like to see Crazy try and force something now that the buyback of Yor is gone, but it's very hard. And I feel like they might be waiting for Aoi to get his up first, or at least be close enough that by the time that they get punished for his possible death. No, they smoked. Okay, okay. Give it to me, guys. Rapier queued up for the Drow.
Somebody's got to push out this wave, right? No, it's just going to be the TV illusion again. Playing very safe. We know exactly where they are now. Trying to force something.
Aoi's sticking up.
See, very front and forward here. Tossing out the arrows. Don't quite land. All right, there's going to be the jump though.
Go.
Coming up from Lutzel. They follow him immediately with Brian.
Yes,
With that
super
Sonic Wave, Levels is dead. He's got buyback. He's going to have to come back in here, I think, very, very fast. Look at this. They're just shredding Yawar now. There's the buyback coming out from Lelis. He's got the ultimate. He's got the ads. He's going to reduce some of that, but the Aegis does get reclaimed at this point. Is this going to go 90 minutes now? Oh, God.
I'm not sure. I don't think they wait this long again.
I feel like they play so scared, though.
This is all down to HFN. Double bullseye on the illusions. They can wait out the metamorphosis here.
He does have a refresher shard that he picked up, I believe. Is it sitting in the base?
He did have a refresher before,
Did
but
he sell it?
I'm not sure where he
He
left
doesn't have it anymore. I thought he was gonna. Yeah. Huh. I guess he changed his mind.
Interesting, because that could come in real handy right about now. They're
Needs
going to
that
try
meta,
to
yeah.
sneak in the base through the other way.
Well, there's no Chronosphere this time, so hopefully they're gonna be able to hit buildings. I'm sorry, that was snarky. That was snarky. My bad, guys. Positioning. Creeping.
Glyph
forward
is up, though.
slowly, steadily. Putting armor. The jump
Wow.
in coming out here. The jump forward again. They're gonna try to just blow up SVG. They don't quite have it, but there it is. He's down. They blink out immediately again. They've got the Greaves. The jump forward though coming out from Lawless. He gets the stomp off, and they have the refresher though. They go. They get the save, but they can't. HFN is taking that. He's got a buyback now immediately. But the Under taking too much damage.
Another roar.
Comes out over here onto UR. They'll keep him alive a little bit longer though. But the arrows do connect. As immediately the follow up here coming out from Drow Ranger with the Gust
back in.
MSS. He's just absolutely obliterated. They do a buyback. Do they go back in though is the question. Do they have it? Can they land one of these arrows? Not quite.
2 minutes 30 for the TV to get his buyback back. If you don't do it in that window, you're on the back foot because that is when the Drow's buyback is going to be down for, well, it's going to feel like forever. Look at this
Alright.
damage.
Yeah.
Megas means so
Ballista.
little at this point.
I'm almost wondering if we're gonna see some cheeky sort of bait and switch where you've got almost everybody here on the bottom fighting, and then someone like maybe and tries to just take that tower at this point. Someone who has buyback, I guess.
Brow would be the ideal candidate with that Stygian.
He would, but it's very scary if they get wise to it. Okay,
They get
couple of
actual
arrows in, but
AR.
they're so
They're
tanky. Oh, there's a little piggy. And the jump forward here coming out. Another roar gets used. Lellis, is he going to be... Oh, the Thunderplay comes out from Yuri. He's trying to keep him alive because he doesn't have the Satanic. He's fighting here with Brow. Brow's going to get blown up. Does have buyback, but Josie right again. And they're going to be the Marana as well.
HFN stands.
HFN, he needs help.
HFN
He
dies.
want to keep him alive. He's dead. He doesn't have buyback. They have to do this now without HFN, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to.
They don't have any
They're
damage.
looking for the opening. The jump forward, though, again. They have the vision coming out from Howie. They'll hold MSS into place, but by a little bit more time. There's going to be that jump back here from Bryles. They're looking for the pickoff. They should be able to go. They take down SVG. No buyback on the Ogre, but he is a position 5. You're not too concerned about that. Jump on deck. Howie looking for this opening. Already used that overgrowth.
The only thing that Crazy can do now is keep threatening to end the game in order to make sure that Quincy crew can't go for their base.
They have
Bral
to keep them
has
pinned
to
in.
Yes, Bral has to keep a forward position. He's the one who can end the entire base in a matter of 30 seconds if he gets the opportunity. And he also... he did spend his buyback.
Oh boy. That is scary. Again, you can see Aoi just placing all these eyes in the forest. Another arrow lands onto UR. There's no way you follow that up, though, right now. You don't have the damage.
And at this point, HFN is actually going to get to respawn. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. Hurricane Pike picked up. Now they just... they need to keep HFN alive. That seems to be the big #1 thing here. A Scotty picked up now for this Lena. Refresher Orb does get picked up again now on UR. So they'll have that head up if necessary for a fight.
And the big condition for Quincy crew now is that since HFN doesn't have a buyback and UR has his up again, they can spend his life in order to get HFN down. They managed to get that trade. Quincy crew win.
Well, getting Dagons picked up now for Keizu. They just
Anything
need
for the
to
damage.
burst. They need the burst. The burst is very, very important, but they have to make sure that those BKBs are down. Yeah, the Rapier's queued up here for HFN. It's reaching that point. It's been that point for a while, let's be really honest.
So he's had it for a while. Maybe that base attempt goes differently if he already has a rapier, but we will never know. At the very
I know
least,
the positioning was very scary there. Oh god. Alright, let's go. Next Roche. What are we on? Roche number 5, 6?
I think it's 5.
5. gonna be our next big fight. Rapier picked up for Drow. All right.
There we are.
She knows. She's all in at this point.
The ward's in the pit. Oh, and he's making a 180.
Keizu, he's got the refresher orb. He's got 2 roars if necessary. Oh gosh, they need some sort of like wraparound play or something. They need to take him by surprise. Either team, honestly, at this point. But it definitely feels like Quincy Crew's still playing very scared. Noir's a big, scary man, but...
He is. But there is still one thing that scares him. It's the Drow Ranger.
Plus side, don't have Owie there, although he's TP'd. Don't have that smoke anymore. Bryle jumping forward. They're coming around the
SVG?
side here. Do you
Right.
manage to magically find Owie? Owie is trying to stay alive long enough. He can't get the overgrowth off. So he'll chase after. Now there's going to be the buyback that's coming out from Owie. And look at this. They just go right back around again. They realize that they've lost their chance of surprise. They didn't manage to force the buyback. This Fallen Sky coming out again from Lelis is a great item for the Centaur, but they don't have the ultimate. All right, they jump forward again. They find the kill immediately over at MS.
Absolutely,
They're
believe
going to be the pushback at the Sonic Wave. Casey looking for this opening, jumping forward, looking for the run. The overgraph comes
Beautiful.
through as they do so much damage. Lelis forced to run away. SPG's going to be next ball. But Quinn, he's taking too much damage. He's not going to be alive. Ryle's on a triple kill here. As now you War, Fallen Sky coming forward. They force step forward. They just can't stay alive. They managed to get the kill on him. They'll follow up. They'll get the kill on Ryle. There's no buyback on either one of these cores. Look at them. They're terrifying. Quincy Crew.
Oh, they didn't manage to get the award down before the BKBs went out. Lelis comes back in.
Another rapier on the ground. UR says, thank you very much for that. I'll be taking it.
Oh no.
He refreshes. Say to hell with Roshan. Let's go get ourselves a throne.
That's going to be rough because Keizo and Aoi are going for his throne right now, and Moonrander's on the task as well.
They gotta go faster.
Both
They gotta
sides
go
of Glyph.
so fast. He's got the Stygian Desolator though, Kips. Look at this. Keizu, he's going for the end. Takes the tower down. Can they do this fast enough? Look at this. They're shredding through the building. We've got a full-on base race here, and they do have the fortification. They're gonna have to go
faster.
and fortify for themselves here, but they're not doing it. They have to go faster.
they're
not
fortifying.
able to. It doesn't. Oh my God! Quincy Crew.
Am I wrong, or did Crazy just not fort right there?
They didn't fort. Did they have it?
I couldn't actually
I'm trying to
see
bounce
it.
around my camera, trying to see. Oh my God.
Well,
Oh my God.
there is unfortunately I can't actually tell you if that's true because it looked like it, but I am working on a small screen and the UI is actually cropped such that that particular part is overlapped with another part of the UI, so I can't see the glyph.
There's no way that they didn't fort there, or it had to have been down. Like, you're not going to make
It had to
that
have
big
been
of a
done,
mistake.
yes.
You can't have made that big of a mistake. That would be 2 huge mistakes coming out from Crazy if that's the case.
It would.
Oh my
I mean,
God. I'm a little bit at a loss for words here. I mean, Quincy Crew, you know, this is why you don't give up. This is why you don't GG, because you can still come back, even though it almost felt like you had absolutely no business coming back. This has been I don't want to be a jerk about this, but this has been less of Quincy Crew winning and Crazy just losing. Like not throwing the game, but a little bit of throwing the game. Making these mistakes that cost them the victory that they should have had.
Yes, I agree. And I think they played very well from, let's say, 40 minutes onward, but that was way past the point where they would have originally won the game. And this is heavy for morale. The previous loss for Crazy, you can laugh that one off as like, yeah, whatever, you know, accidents happen. But this one, they very much did this double-length game to themselves. And you can't help but wonder if Quincy Crew are going to steam onward for this, because this is brutal. Losing an 80-minute game is always brutal, but especially so when you know that you did it to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we already talked about game number 2 with HFN, you know, that chronosphere, and then having Brow
Yes.
walk into it cost them the game. And then this time around, it was just another series of mistakes, unfortunately, that again, I don't know. Perhaps it was they had already fortified. I don't know exactly what happened. If someone just forgot to press the button, I'd have to go back and look at the replay because I'm my camera's going back and forth the entire time trying to see everything. But that would be one hell of a way to lose game number 3.
I can see it at least.
I don't know what else to say about this. It looked so good. It looked like Crazy had this in the bag. They even traded off with that Stygian Desolator. They were going on in, and I don't know, Kips.
It was a desperation move, and at some point, you got to make that call. And I think they backed off from that call too many times during that game already. So at the very least, they get a fresh start now, because at some point you also just want it to be over with. And I think we all feel a little bit like that right now. At the very least, I'm going to make sure that I know what went on with the glyph once we get back for the next game. Because I definitely can't say that I don't think anyone on our end caught it. So don't want to do any misinforming here. After all, it would be crazy if they had it off CD.
Get it?
But
sorry. It's my brain is like all over the place after watching the back and forth and nobody dying and then one person dying and then buying back. But
breathe.
At the very least, guys, this has been one hell of a grand final so far, and it's not done yet. This is only game number 3. Crazy could bounce back. We could get a full 5-game series, or maybe Quincy crew, they're just like, you know what? We're going to just bag it and tag it, finish it up, get this victory, stay the kings of NA and SA. But, Crazy, they got to shake off this funk now, because I'm sure they're just clutching this. They've been so close to victory twice, and it's just slipped through their fingers. So Kips and I are going to take a short break, probably have ourselves some more Monster, because, it's getting pretty late. Early technically at this point for Kips, but for me, it's starting to get a bit late, and we need to stay energized. So taking a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have game number 4.